This is episode 2263 of the Daily Meditation Podcast. I'm Mary Meckley, and I honor you for being exactly where you are. Did you know that you are in the right place right now? That there's likely nothing else that's more important right now than tapping into your inner stillness. That's the part you reach as you meditate. In today's episode, you're going to be guided as you meditate on patience. Our theme this week is how to tame your temper, especially the big, powerful emotions such as anger. And as you consider how you express yourself when you are feeling angry, know that sometimes anger can take patience. Anger is an emotion that you throw out there that's outward, and others notice it and feel it. It's also an emotion that you can keep within yourself, inward, and others may not even have a hint that you are angry. But when you do that, your anger can fester. And there's a difference between letting your anger fester and allowing yourself patience to express your anger in a way that's going to produce the results you seek. Lao Tzu, the famous, timeless Chinese philosopher, wrote this about anger. He wrote, "When anger rises, think of the consequences." So when you notice your anger rising, you might be perfectly justified in expressing your anger. Notice what you are ready for so that your anger doesn't take you too far outside of yourself that it's difficult to think of anything else except for that anger, to where it can become all-consuming. Likewise, take care that when you hold your anger in, as you practice patience with your anger, take care not to allow it to become so all-consuming in a way where you feel repressed or disempowered. See what it feels like to allow yourself time and space for your anger, to work with it, and to begin to notice what you can handle as a consequence of expressing your anger. I remember when I was living in Japan and we were looking for a place to live. And we went to a real estate office, and our realtor told us to be prepared for people not wanting to rent to gaijin or foreigners. The Japanese have a beautiful, special way of living in harmony amongst themselves, which I admire so much. And sometimes when you put a foreigner in that equation, some people there find that it's just not worth the havoc it can wreak. And so some places don't allow foreigners. So when we were looking for properties, we would find some great place and we would knock on the door, and the owner would put their hands up in a symbol with their fists crossing. This represented zanin, or never ever, don't even try. So I remember feeling really outraged and thinking that we needed to put a stop to this. And I would complain to the owner of the real estate agency, who had very little sympathy for me because that's just the way it is in Japan. Some people don't want foreigners living in their homes or even in their apartment complexes. So I realized that my anger and outrage was better directed towards taking action, not for them to adjust their attitudes. I realized that me, myself, and I alone could not accomplish this. It was just too big, too strong for me to do this alone. The time wasn't right. What I did was decide to be free within myself by showing up as I am. I didn't go out of my way to be especially nice to those neighbors who demonstrated they weren't very happy that we were living next to them. But what I did do is be the best person that I could be, because that's all any of us can really do, is have the freedom to be who we are. Sometimes this didn't work out so well, especially on garbage day, when I seemed to not have grasped the way the garbage should be correctly put out. I had a few neighbors who would inspect my garbage and lecture me on how I was doing it all wrong with their extensive and excellent recycling system. I ended up loving Japan. I would love to live there again. We met lifelong friends there. But it wasn't always an easy place to live. Feeling accepted and equal is pivotal to feeling connected with the rest of humanity. As you get ready to meditate today, as you close your eyes and straighten your spine, begin to notice where you hold tension in your body. And you may realize that this tension may have to do with some way in which you feel you're not accepted, where you feel there's no peace because there are barriers. Consider how these barriers may consume you with anger and conceal the best part of who you are. Reflect on how you can find some peace within. I share with you the words from Nelson Mandela from The Long Walk to Freedom. He says, "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." It begins with your inner freedom. Allow yourself to sit in stillness as you tap into the best part of who you are. This is your freedom to fully live out all you are. You are so worth slowing down for.